Alright, what's going on, Forgotten Nation? I'm your host, FG, and tonight we're playing a little bit of Sonic Origins. Just came out yesterday, as a matter of fact. And the game has seen a bit of a mixed reception, and I don't blame them. Honestly, for what we have in this package and what we were expecting are two completely different things. I think the biggest gripe to complain, though, is that there's already a game on Steam, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation that uses the exact same engine, but was performed much more better. Sonic Mania. The fact that this collection uses the retro engine, but somehow is worse, even having 4 games compared to the one, I feel like it's a far cry from what many were expecting this collection to have. But that's just the pinnacle of it, really. There's still many smaller problems. Doesn't mean that it's not playable. It's playable, but, I mean, there's certainly better ways to play these games. And I mean, the fans have definitely proven it with other versions of Sonic 3 Knuckles, for example. Sonic 3 Complete, Sonic 3 Air. I can't help but feel disappointed. But anyways, we're not gonna go on for so long here. We're gonna play a little bit of story mode on stream. We're not starting from the very beginning. We're gonna be starting actually 2 zones in with the 3rd zone of Sonic 1, which is Spring Yard Zone. As always, this is FG Plays, so if there's any comments, I'll read them as they come along, so feel free to tune on in. But otherwise, it's just me playing a little bit of Sonic. Now, I should mention that I actually did modify this a little bit in advance because I'm playing on Steam. That's right, the fans have already made some modifications to the game, and no doubt the biggest one has to be the screen resolution. Rather, the fact that it looks so blurry that there's no way that was acceptable in 2022. If Sonic Mania could look better than that, then there's no reason this one shouldn't have. So we're going to continue right where I left off. And let's just see in action. Oh yeah, that's way more cleaner. The fans do what Seg don't. Alright, so the reason I stopped last time was because I was short of rings. I'll be honest, I don't like that they changed it to unlimited lives. I don't hate it, but I'm one of those purists to where if it's not necessarily broken, it shouldn't have to change. But rather, I'm one where I would say, give me the choice. The fact that they forced it, rather than making a simple on-off switch, is what really drives me insane here. If they just made it an option from the very beginning, it wouldn't even have been an issue. And I guess, I mean, coins are a big deal with the collection. Part of it is unlocking the things such as the museum, the illustrations, the music. But I would much rather play with lives. If I could do that with iOS and Android, I see no reason why I couldn't do it here with this version. Alright. I will say though, I like one quality of life thing that they did add was being able to use the coins to continue on special stages. Games where it's appreciated, the ones that come to mind especially are Sonic CD, and this one here is greatly appreciated as a quality of life improvement. Alright, nice and easy. Because it's the retro engine, I feel like it's a little easier to handle Sonic 2, and I'm not going to say I was ever bad at Sonic 3. I feel like playing Sonic Mania definitely helped there, but it could definitely be a challenging one. Alright, the original Sonic only had 6 emeralds, so we're already... Well, that's 4 out of 6. And coins. So I need 2 more if I want to get the game's good ending. I don't think it matters in Anniversary Mode. I don't think it changes the cutscenes, which would have been a really fun addition if it had like some sort of like if it changed the way that each game proceeds. The only real case where it could be a bad ending per se would be for Sonic 3, where you needed to restore the island. But I feel like each of the other games could have flowed fine for what they were. Well, give or take Sonic CD, because then when you see the planet become roboticized, metallic, I think metallic. The one thing that can never disappoint is the soundtrack, even though I'm sure you all know by now about the Sonic 3 fiasco. I can understand because of copyright and Michael Jackson, but more specifically though, I really would have preferred if you just didn't touch the prototype versions. I love Jun Tsunoe for the guitars in Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, and even later on, just as part of Crush 40, but those were not good Genesis renditions, and I am not looking forward to hearing them. Really, if you compare it to the prototype, just because of how much more cleaner the prototype is, and the fact that's not even the final version, just the one that they have in this game sounds much more muddied, more garbled. It just doesn't sound good. Alright, ring. Ching! Unfortunately, I have the Labyrinth Zone next, which isn't necessarily the easiest to get rings in. And actually, that's where I struggled the most playing this way back when. Then the Marble Zone originally. Marble Garden was hard, especially compared to if you played originally, going from Green Hill to the Marble Garden. I don't know, it feels like a very different game when you get to the second zone. Because where Green Hill has this emphasis of speed and exploration, Marble Zone feels much more linear. It feels more like you have to follow the path, especially the third act, where if you fall down from the one section, then you have to repeat it from going back to the left. I know explaining it doesn't really add a lot to it, but it's just one of those minor gripes. Now, honestly, of all the games in the collection, the only one that hasn't aged very well is the original Sonic. The rest still hold up extremely well, especially my favorite, Sonic 2. But alright, we got 5 out of 6 emeralds. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, let's get to Robotnik. I'll also say, too, that I actually like that they added the drop dash, but it doesn't work the same way that it did in Sonic Mania. And I don't mean by execution, I mean by, like, the physics. It doesn't feel strong as Sonic Mania's. And I think I've seen some people pointing out, too, on Twitter, comparing it to the M2 version that they released for Sega Ages on the Switch. It just doesn't feel good. It works, though. It certainly works. Yeah, holy crap, though. That mod makes a huge difference with the graphics. Oh. Trying to go for a peel out there. I do wonder, though, how the peel out's going to work when it comes to Sonic 3, because the Insta-Shield was always the one that was used in that game. I feel like maybe they stack on top of each other, it works. Like, you use the Insta-Shield and then it goes into the drop dash. Alright. Cope. No, wait. Ooh. Let me up. Ah! Alright. Back around. There we go. Once we pass here, then it should lead to the boss fight. So, little by little. There we go. Bring it, Egghead. Nice. Alright, we'll keep on going. boom, boom. Ka-ching. Alright, here we go. The most infamous zone of the original Sonic if you made it this far. I will say, though, I do like the aesthetic of it, having like this ancient ruin vibe to it. It's the colors, really, that pop out. I don't mean under the water, I mean above the surface. I like the beige color that they're going for, the very, like, bright... It's a mix between brown and orange. I wouldn't say yellow. Golden, maybe? Eh. We'll call it rock. I guess rock is the best color. Alright, go this way. Got it. Wait for it. Gotta make sure I keep my rings. But no, this is certainly one of the harder stages to try to get 50 rings on. And if I remember this right, I believe there's... Well, aside from that... Gotta go back down here. I know there's a part where it, like, there's a thing that shoots at you from the right. A gargoyle, maybe? Nice and easy. Alright, water's gonna rise up. Yep. Grounder. I wonder how many people actually have watched the Adventure of Sonic the Hedgehog. I've never watched all the episodes, I've only seen a couple, especially the ones related to the YouTube poops way back when. I know they just released it not too long ago on Blu-ray. Not official Blu-ray, it's like they use Blu-ray disc, but it's still an SD because you can't really upscale it any further than that. I don't know, I feel like I gotta eventually pick that up if I wasn't tight on money as it is now. Okay, watch out for the spikes. I'm in a good position right now, just do not need to lose the rings. This should be it right here. Made it! Alright, perfect. This should be the last Chaos Emerald. And thankfully we got plenty of coins that we can continue. But I don't think I'm gonna need one. Ka-ching! Alright, break the core. Funny enough, the last one is one of the easier ones. Sonic got them all. No coins for that one. Alright, so now we just focus on playing the game. Yep. Going down. Got Chompy Chomps, Spiky Ball Dudes, and computer monitors. Okay, we're gonna need the air bubble in a second here. Come on, hit me with it. There we go. Do 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 do. Do-do-do-do. Alright, so there's the switch we need. Hit that. Just like that. Oh! I'll take that. Air bubble. I will say though, you do get used to having the spin dash, the drop dash, and all that with the original games. You didn't have them though in the original Sonic, so you don't really get that sense of speed that you do in the later games. Part of the reasons why I never really do go back to the original Sonic, just because it is definitely one of those slower games. It's not a bad game without them though, but it's clear that there was still work that needed to be done that we'd see established in the sequels. Any good game, any good sequel for that matter, should always improve on what came before it. And I feel like having those natural additions to it, spin dash, drop dash, super peel out, just adds more to the gameplay style. Alright, so I jump here, get the shield. If I jump again, there's the switch we need. And that should let me jump right across. Alright, so if I'm remembering right, I believe there was 2 paths you could take for the stage, depending on where you fall down. I want to say it was the upper path that was easier. No, because I remember always going... No, I always remember going down, so we're going to go down. So long as I have the bubbles. Oh. Bubbles! Where's the bubbles? I did this. No! I did this to myself. I did this to myself. You know, we haven't done this in a while. Alright, let's do it again. Hit the button. Get the stuff. There we go. Going down. Alright. Let's try to get the air this time before we continue. There we go. Alright, let's try this again. I also feel like there's missing sound effects, because isn't it supposed to make like the breaking sound when you do it? Or am I just thinking of Sonic 3? I feel like it's supposed to make like the breaking sound, like you break the pillar. No, 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 come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No, 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 no. Ooh. Okay, what was that? What was that? Doo-doo-doo-doo. Alright, this time we'll take the upper route. Wait for it. Oh! Good. To the surface. Alright, I'll take the hit. I'll take the hit. switch. Going down. Don't think I noticed all those. The rings do me no good unless it wants some coins. Alright, and this should be... No, not this one. No, 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 no. Get the shield. Write it up. So I believe this switch reverses it. Yep. Then I write this down to the right. And back up. Alright, here's the last phase before the boss fight. And this is not the hardest, but I mean, it still does give a bit of a struggle because of the rising water. As long as you stay with it, jump up. Not too bad at all. Alright, I got the shield, but I'll take it again. Alright, here we go. Worst boss in the game. Maybe even the series. Just because it's really not even a boss fight against Robotnik. It's just the labyrinth itself. Trying to avoid the spikes, which for moments like those are not fun. But if you're not quick enough, then you just drown because of the labyrinth. It's a bit of an unfair challenge, if you ask me. But thankfully, the best are yet to come. If I can make it, that is. Ooh. Streaming.
You see all that Twitter shit on the abortion and all that?
Yep.
What do you think about all that?
I think it's crazy. I think they have their own right to it, but now it's becoming illegal depending on the states. Hey, what's good, Mag? Good to see you tuned into the stream. Made it. Ka-ching. Doing good, man. Doing good. Whoa. Alright, launch up. Nailed it. Nice and easy. Alright, you're missing out, man. If you're gonna play Sonic, though, wait for Origins, because with all the stuff happening with this game, it is not worth the price tag right now. Of the ones to try, though, definitely Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. Sonic 2 is my favorite, personally, just because of the nostalgia I had for it. Playing way back when with the Mega Collection. And even my brother in the multiplayer. But Sonic 3 is probably the pinnacle of the series, and now that it's finally back here, the fact that it was done dirty is not a sight to behold. It's a shame, really. Going down. Yeah, when I first played this, I never really made it very far in the first Sonic. The most I would get to was the Marble Zone, but because of how difficult it was, at least for me way back when, I just couldn't get very far with it. But now, I'm able to cheese through it like it's nothing. Pro gamer moves. Alright, careful. No, go back. Grab all of that. There we go. Alright, this should be the boss fight. Yep. Alright. Death by seesaws. We can either launch the bombs up him, or we can launch ourselves. I like to go for myself just because it's a little more fun that way. But both work. I don't know what does more damage though. I think the bombs might do more damage, but it's just way more fun launching myself. Or Sonic, that is. I gotta get just in the right spot. Launch him up. I think one more should do it. No, it wasn't enough height. And no, more. Get him. There it is. Nice. Alright, just like that, we're coming up to the last zone. Been playing Ultra Moon Dragon type block. Ooh. So wait, type block, that means you're only able to use dragon types then? I think that's what it means. I mean, that sounds like fun. I never did pick up Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. I only ever played the original Sun and Moon, which still personally my favorites in the series, just because they were different when they needed to be, and I like that the story elements that they went with. I feel like they changed just a little too much with the story for Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon that I just never picked up myself. But no, that's cool. Thing that sucks though is that it's a little too late now, even if I wanted Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon, unless I find a physical copy somewhere, because now the eShop doesn't take credit card payments. You have to either get like a gift card in the store with cash, or I'm not gonna say yo ho, but I am waiting though for the new ones that they announced, Scarlet and Violet. I'm thinking again Scarlet. I'm not gonna explain why, but but no, I feel like that's gonna be what should have been Sword and Shield. It feels like it's taking a natural evolution of the Pokemon series, but doing more with it for the console it's on. I couldn't help but feel disappointed with Sword and Shield that it just wasn't anything. Oh, careful. Anything better than what was before with Sun Moon. And actually, I still need to get back to finishing Legends Arceus. I got busy with school at the time, so I never got to really pick it up and finish to the end. I got time now, though, but I feel like everyone's moved on. Okay, wait for it to come back. Jump. No, wait. Ow! Switch up above. Can we wait for it? Okay, so hit it at the right time. Go. Now. Made it. Going down! Ow! So Scrap Brain, if you ever did make it this far, is the hardest that the game has to offer. It's really just his opening act, though. I don't think the second one's as bad. The only real thing that gets you is the bottomless pit, both in the beginning and in sections like these. I remember the first time I made the Scrap Brain, that's the first instance I fell in the pit down below to my death. Not fun. It's one of those things where you definitely remember it, because it happened. Alright, let's go up. Love the pig enemies here, by the way. Should be it. Perfect. Sword and Shield felt really bare considering they could have done more with Switch hardware. That's what I'm saying. It felt like they didn't do enough with it. It was just retreading more of the same. And in some ways, it felt like it was worse than what came before it. I feel like they repeated certain animations, certain styles, and even cut certain elements too. Stuff that should have been there, but just wasn't. Alright, wait for it and launch! No, 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 ah! Got stuck. Alright, where can we drop dash? Boom, 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 boom. Alright, fine, we'll do this on foot. There it is. Careful. A lot of these elements we're going to be seeing will come up again, especially in Sonic CD with Metallic Madness. I don't know if the vibe of the second act of Scrapper Rain reminds me of anything else that we see later on. I guess maybe to an extent the the Zone of Sonic 2. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Nah, I'm drawing a blank. Necropolis Zone? I think Necropolis Zone. But no, with the saw blades, the conveyor belts, and especially like the electric parts and those bomb enemies, definitely reminds me much more of Sonic CD. Makes sense though, because that did come out right after the original Sonic. Alright, careful now. I know there are some people that actually say that they like the 8-bit version of the original Sonic better, the one that was released for the Game Gear and the Master System. Personally, no, I feel like I like the Genesis just a little more. I can see where they're coming from though with that version of the game, because it is different enough. Different zones, different feeling, even the way that they handled the end game of that one. It's completely different. Alright, this should be the final stretch right here. Made it! I feel like XD and Coliseum had... Okay, so here's what I never got personally. I don't know if anyone remembers Pokemon Battle Revolution for the Wii. One of the biggest things... Oh, wait for it, the reveal. The side scrolling to the right to show... Dr. Robotnik. Switch. Ah. But anyways, so back on the Wii, it was a game called Pokemon Battle Revolution. One of the big things with that game was that you could connect the DS if you had Diamond and Pearl, Platinum later, but it still supported it, but it was made for Diamond and Pearl. And it could actually battle using the Pokemon you had from the game, but on the big screen. So think of it like if you're battling people in the original Diamond and Pearl or BDSP, where you're in that room, it's in the Pokemart, the Pokemon Center, and then when you play with them, it's just a regular battle. Well, the whole point of Battle Revolution was that not only would you be able to battle them, but it would be on the big screen with way better graphics in comparison to what could be achieved at the time. Like, I would dare say it was the cinematic equivalent of the Pokemon series. And they never followed up on it ever again. It was only for the DS. Never saw any other versions of the games have any support later on. Not Heart Gold and Soul Silver, not... Because I would have loved to see something like that for the Wii U, for even Sun and Moon or X and Y, but we never got anything like it. Oh, hey, I got the checkpoint though. You do it on the GBA on the GameCube games. Yeah! I'm trying to remember that. The one that's come to my mind though is Pokemon Box. It was like they made like a whole GameCube game that was just for storing Pokemon on the GameCube. They even had like a special memory card just for it. And then, I think that was before the Game Boy Player 2. I think you were actually able to play the full game on the GameCube with it too. I'm trying to think though if there was like a Battle Revolution style game for the GameCube. I don't think, well, I guess you could count XD Gale of Darkness. Because, I mean, that was close enough. That felt like it was premium Pokemon at the time. Closest we ever got to a console game, as a matter of fact. I feel like the last time they ever really followed up on that kind of style was probably Pokken Tournament, that arcade fighting game. I never picked up myself, but I did play the demo way back when. XD did support it. Yeah. It's alright. Rewind, you saw nothing. Now, if this was a normal game, that'd be game over. But no, honestly, I feel like what they could achieve with the consoles versus what they did on portable systems, and not just considering the GBA or even the DS, but even say 3DS too, because clearly there was groundwork, and the 3DS was the first where it would really have like that full range scale. Mag, no, you didn't. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. Careful. Bubbles, bubbles. Give me the bubbles! No. Bubble! Ooh. Alright, let me through. But then when we get games like Pokemon Sword and Shield, where it just doesn't look any better than what came for the 3DS, especially when before that we had Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which did look better. I just don't know what's going on. What was going on? So I'm really looking forward to Scarlet and Violet. It finally feels like what we should have had for this generation on the Switch. If we're not counting Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I would have liked it though if they did more with the Pokewalker. Not Pokewalker, the Pokeball Joy-Con. The one that was used for Pikachu and Eevee. It was a novelty, not the best to play with, but I enjoyed it for what it was. It was just another unique way to play it. And the fact that the whole unique, like, the control system worked for the controller, crazy to think about. You can play the whole game with a spear, essentially. A spear and a stick. 3DS emulator has better graphics. I've tried using the Citra engine. I don't know. It works with certain games. Others, it's a bit on like the choppy side. I don't think we've gotten to a point where the emulation is good enough. I mean, there are some games too that don't even work with the emulator. Star Fox 3D was the one I struggled with trying to get to work. So I mean, it's got ways to go, but it certainly is better with the emulator. Just being able to upscale it, and then if people upload custom textures, kind of like the Dolphin engine. Give me the pulse! Ooh! But no, I'm glad that people are working on the emulator. Ah. Alright, here we go. So, this is the final zone of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's just a simple one-on-one boss fight between me and the Mad Doctor. And if you played Sonic Mania, then you'll definitely recognize it. Nice and easy. Dash to the right. It definitely is easier because we have the spin dash and the drop dash, where in the original you had to make sure you get just enough speed to pass the giant electro balls. And plus the extra screen estate too, being able to have the widescreen, seeing all of it, where before you only see. I got distracted talking about it. But you only see a sliver of what was coming down at you. Alright, let's do it for real this time. Alright, so I don't think people are watching this that know what it is I'm about to say, but way back when YouTube was still in like its infancy, I remember seeing a video on YouTube. It was actually a re-upload of something that they used for, I don't know, it was an advertisement or an amusement park. It was something Sega related. It was definitely foreign because it was not English. But it was like a CG version of Sonic as well as this final zone here. But it was weird, like it had like, it was almost like inspired by the Terminator. Sonic would become like I don't know if it was like robotic or like red eye or like he almost seemed like turned into like a liquid, but then he like I don't know. It's not, I don't know how to describe it. It sounds too fake to be real, but something about it seems familiar to me. I know for certain it was based on the final zone, but anyways, let's take him out. So, Robotic tries to escape, but let's give him one for the road. And down he goes. So, because I got all the emeralds, we get to see the game's good ending. And we're gonna get a bit of a cutscene also because this is Sonic Origins. I wonder though if it's gonna show the credits. Alright, pieces restored, and all's good. Okay, yeah, so it is gonna show the credits. Yeah, that was the final boss. That's all there was to it. Now, the original Sonic the Hedgehog really isn't anything too special. The biggest reasons people remember it is because of the very first zone being the Green Hill Zone. But more importantly, it's because of when it came out. It was made to rival Nintendo's own Mario. You had the speed especially, being able to go much faster than what Mario ever could. You had the colors, and especially because of the Sega Genesis being 16-bit, where the Super Nintendo was just coming out around the same time. Really, it was just the one thing that was able to attract an audience compared to what Nintendo was doing originally. The biggest thing though too was how it was portrayed here in America. I remember one of the first commercials that they showed was comparing him next to Super Mario World. And they had like both the TV monitors, and it's like, what's this one? Oh, that's just Sonic the Hedgehog. Wow, look how fast it is, and look at all the colors. And wow, it's only, I think it was like $150. In the end, the Genesis did. Just because they had more third-party software. But no, that was a good commercial way back when. They even replicated that when they were advertising Sonic Mania. Wow, it's only $30. Plus, it comes with an art book. I like Sonic Mania Plus. But no, again, I do think of all the ones in the collection, or even just today, I think this is the one that's aged the most in terms of its overall design. But I still think that the sequels, the later games, if we're not counting Sonic CD, because that's the black sheep of the series, are still very good in their own right. But yeah, that's the end of the original Sonic. And because this is the anniversary story mode, it should go one after the other, so we are going to get a closing cutscene here. Yep. And then because there's only 6, now we have 7, and they all scatter to the next area. But Sonic doesn't care. He's off to his next adventure. But up next is Sonic CD. So way back when, in the manual, they actually said that Amy, known back then as Rosie Rascal, was a fortune teller. I think this is the first instance in the series where we actually see it happen. Alright, the prophecy says the knight in shining armor will come to rescue the day. And there it is, Little Planet. Now this is the original opening, and because we got the American soundtrack, we have Sonic Boom. It's cheesy, but I love it. So I'm gonna sing along to it. If you're strong, you can fly. You can reach the other side of the rainbow. It's alright, take a chance, 'cause there is no circumstance that you can't handle when you use your mind. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic. In the dark to the light, It's a supersonic fight, gotta keep it going. Sonic boom, sonic boom, sonic boom. Sonic boom, sonic boom, sonic, save the planet from disaster. I love it so much. It's very 90s, very cheesy, but it's just so good. And the toy animation, the same folks that did the Dragon Ball series. Ah, love it. But then we do have the American soundtrack, but first I should probably change the handle for Twitch. Because now I'm playing Sonic CD instead of Sonic the Hedgehog. There we go. So Sonic CD is the black sheep of the series in that you don't play it traditionally like you do the other games. This one was much more focused on exploration. Exploring what the world has to offer, but more importantly, the time travel mechanic. Because there's two ways you can play Sonic CD. You can go through each world and try to go back to the past in order to take out two things that drastically... Okay, so we're definitely not doing it for this run. But to take out two things that drastically alter the future and make Little Planet what Eggman has turned it into. A bad future. And so those include a monitor that scares the wildlife, as well as a roboticizer that summons the robots. Destroying those two things restore the future to its good self. But we're not going to do that here. Instead, what we're going to do is go for 50 rings in each stage, and then get to the very end of the stage in order to take out the special. Bonus, special stage, maybe bonus. Nice and easy, I don't want to lose the rings. And of course we saw before, but this is the first portrayal of Amy Rose. And I can already tell that they don't have certain sound effects, like she's supposed to make one when she grabs onto you, but... Sonic Origins, everyone! Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright, so this is a very different special stage in that it's fully 2.5D is the way to put it. And rather than going for rings or trying to navigate a stage, we need to take out the UFOs. This would very much inspire the type of special stage that was used in Sonic Mania. The thing is though, I do think Sonic Mania's was handled a little better just because it had more emphasis on what made Sonic Sonic, and that was the speed. Being able to chase the UFO as opposed to simply just getting up to it and destroying it. But it's definitely still a challenge. Alright, time it right. Ow! It's trying to get it in like just the right position, but then the speed too. It does look like Mario Kart. It used a similar aesthetic with the Mode 7. For the Super Nintendo, when it had like the parallax scrolling, like with the foray and the backgrounds, that was known as Mode 7. Sonic CD used a similar format to that, but the Genesis can never truly emulate that kind of hardware capability. There are some games where if they were released on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, and there's plenty of games that compare to, one of my personal favorites is Pac-Man 2: The New Adventures. You can tell there were spots where they had to either change the game or work around it because it didn't have that support with the Mode 7, the parallax scrolling. There are many games that make great use of it on the Super Nintendo. One of my personal favorites is F-Zero and Pilot Wings especially. But it was just one of those things where it was a new foray into gaming, and something that Nintendo was able to revolutionize on. Alright, let's keep this going. We're going with the ring route now, so we gotta make sure we get enough rings. So I should probably talk about the differences between the US and Japanese soundtrack. When this game first came out in Japan, they were going for a very different style that was made to capitalize on the Sega CD's capabilities, because this was a game that was one of the first at the time that was released in a CD format. Back then, everything was cartridges, so to even have that in a CD-ROM was something revolutionary. In some ways, unheard of for many years. It'd be a long time until stuff like the PlayStation, or even the 64-bit era with stuff like the Atari Jaguar would come out and start to further utilize disc-based systems. 3DO, so on. But when it came out in Japan, they made a soundtrack that they could only do with a CD setup. But they also deviated far from what we know as Sonic the Hedgehog. I call it funky beats personally, but it was made to be much more funky. Well, the executives in North America for Sega didn't think that's what fans would want when it was localized over here. So rather, they completely changed the entire soundtrack into a more contemporary piece that feels much more environmental. And so, for example, here, where it would be more like da 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 da, yeah, do da 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 da. It was more laid back with an acoustic guitar. But for the longest time, no one would know that there was actually two different soundtracks to the game. And honestly, I was one of them, because way back when they released this for the Sonic Gems collection, they still used the American soundtrack. We wouldn't get an official Japanese version of the game, I don't mean Japanese, but just having the soundtrack, until Christian Whitehead remade it for the Retro Engine in 2011. The same engine that's used to power this one here in Sonic Origins. Nice and easy. So, how's that for a little bit of a history lesson? But by default, Sonic Origins goes to the American soundtrack, and I don't think I'm going to be able to change it here in Anniversary mode. I'll have to figure it out in my own free time. But just because I grew up with it, I kind of like this one more than the Japanese soundtrack. Not to say I don't like the Japanese soundtrack, because I even have it on vinyl behind me. No, I was actually very lucky to get that on vinyl as a limited edition. It's got like some splatter designs to it. I'm glad that they're making video games into a listenable format. Just saying. But no, we have two completely different soundtracks, both great in their own rights. Which one's your favorites? Well, you're gonna have to listen to it to find out yourself, personally. But anyways, we got a very easy boss here. Just get right behind him and stick it to him. That was easy. Alright, go around the bend and take it out. Oh, too soon. So in the Japanese version, this would go like do 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 do. But here, it sounds like foreign, like alien sci-fi. But anyways, oh yeah, they just, oh, what did they do to Origins? It's missing like all the Amy sound effects. I'm baffled, really. I feel like they really butchered this, especially compared to the 2011 version, which did have the sound effects. It's a very small thing to nitpick, but they definitely did not do justice to this release. And it can probably be easily fixed. I'm sure some fans are probably working on it right now. No, 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 I don't want to go to the future! Well, we're in the bad future now. Alright, I don't want to lose my rings. That's like the most important thing because of the route we chose. But because we're in the bad future, that means there's a lot more enemies and the level design's just a little harder. And that is not what I wanted. Alright, please be careful. Going up. The post. I can't get below there by the looks of it. Let's try to get some speed on this one. Spin dash. Go, 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 go! Yes! Gotta get back. Back to the past, Samurai Jack. The past. Alright, we're still gonna go for rings here, so I'm not gonna use the pass sign again. Well, let's see how this plays out. Alright, fine. Back to the past. But I still don't want to go for the things we need, because it just feels it's slower. It's certainly slower. Then, because I don't remember where they are. But if we do take them out, though, that would get rid of the... Oh, come on! Alright, humor me here. Unfortunately, this isn't something that we can just go back and fix. If you're going for the, I guess we'll call it the CD route of completion, you need to go each stage sequentially. So right there, that's the first thing I had to destroy, which was the Metal Sonic monitor. And that restores the wildlife. But we still got some bad nicks because of the roboticizer. But the thing is, though, we'd have to have done this from Palm Tree Panic and then go from there. So because I didn't do that originally, we can't just go and continue and expect it that we'll still get the good ending just because we got the two things. Even if right now it's only just the first one. So if you choose a certain route to go for, you have to commit to it. Which kind of sucks in my opinion. Really sucks. I mean, I guess it makes sense from the gameplay perspective. But really, that's just more the reason that this one is considered a black sheep. Alright, we're not gonna get enough rings here, so let's just continue forward. It's gonna force me to the right. Do 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 do. Of all the music compared to the Japanese and American, I will say that this is the one zone where I think that the Japanese version shines much better compared to the American. I like what the rest of the soundtrack has, but this one just always stuck out to me for some strange reason. I don't know if it's because it's got like that dystopian vibe, or if it's just so different, it's strange. But I feel like this one's the oddball of the bunch. Even though there's certainly some you could say are much more weird. But the other one sounds like it is Sonic to its very core. Especially does the little bit that they reused T-Lope's first Studiopolis. Bum 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 bum. Do it do it do it do it. Alright, so if we go up here, that'll take me to the past, which might help me out of this predicament because I don't want to. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. The past. Alright. Look out! Blast off! Green light, go! Going up. Wait. Okay, so there's the other thing if we go for the CD routes. And that is the roboticizer. Take it out, and now we don't have to worry about any bad nicks in the stages. It's actually kind of refreshing not having any enemies show up. But again, if you really want to go for the CD route, then you also need to get rid of the Metal Sonic projector. Which I can't say I know where it is. I think it's on the lower route. But we got plenty of rings, so of course you know I'm going there. No, come on, this part sucks. See, unless you go for the CD route, there's really not a whole lot you can do in Sonic CD, because these are levels that are made to be explored, having multiple layers, different like ups and downs. But if you're going simply for the basic way of completing the game, you're speeding through the levels, and that could take minutes, sometimes maybe even 1 minute entirely. It's a much shorter game if you play it that way. And you can tell because of its design philosophy that it wasn't made to be played that way. But it's still, I'm not going to take that way because I do not want to lose the rings. But it's still just very different. Alright, so if I go with the spring. There we go. No? No, 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 I don't want to take the danger route. No, that's not fair. Alright. Ah. Good, 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 good. And warp. Whew. Actually, skip me there. Ba ba ba. Ching. Alright, bring it on. I like the look of these stages. Oh, what? I don't know, what did you say? But I like the look of these stages. Like, it's very sci-fi. Like, it's more so, it looks like it's under the ocean because of the way they get the blue streams in the back. It's very mystique, almost dreamlike, I guess is the way to put it. It's very different. And yeah, I guess you could say that too with the kaleidoscope design of the original Sonic bonus stages too. Alright, hit it. Perfect, we got one more to go. You probably notice I'm trying to avoid the water. If you hit the water, that actually deducts 10 seconds from the special stage timer. If you take too long, well, actually not if you take too long, it's if you come close to the end, there is another UFO that appears that can give you more time. If it becomes a problem, of course. But just try to avoid the water is the best advice I can give. Do 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 do. Alright, so we got 3. I believe there's 7 here in Sonic CD. I could be wrong though. I'm pretty sure after the original Sonic it was always 7. Now how's this for some nightmare fuel? Alright. This is actually a pretty fun boss fight. Not so much in the sense of the fight itself, but the way it's pulled off. It's trying to be a giant pinball stage. The idea is to try to get to the top, but the thing is, it's kind of finicky with the way it goes. There certainly isn't Sonic Spinball, which was made to be a pinball game from the ground up. But getting just that sweet spot. And that's it. I think the reason I like it so much is just because it's got that pinball idea to it. It's set up like a pinball stage, but you don't necessarily play it like a pinball machine, which kind of sucks. Alright, here we go. Some of the best music that the American soundtrack has to offer. Man, I love this song so much. It's definitely got this, like, I would call it jazzy, but smooth. Absolutely smooth. I've seen some remixes online way back when to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Aw, man. The best part? La-da-da-da-dip down. Bing, bong. It's so cheesy, but it's so great. Don't get hit by that. It's very 90s, is the best way to put it. Very 90s. But it's just so different compared to the rest of Sonic. And I just love it so much. Alright, careful. Surprisingly, this game actually doesn't have the drowning music. So, if you start to see the countdown, it's just giving you some extra notes. Alright, nice and easy now. All the way to the top. Score! Nice and easy. Alright, let's get this time stone. Ka-ching! Again, just look at this. Look at the detail that went into the stage. Well, maybe not the stage itself, but the backdrop. The backdrop, yeah, that's the best way to put it. The one thing I'll never understand, especially for Sonic Mania, is why they never made like a bonus mode with these special stages that was more like a race, like a time attack, especially. I feel like it works especially well for Sonic Mania because it's already a set course, and when you go for the blue spears, that's what speeds you up. And maybe if you still kept like the rings in place, that could like reduce the time it took. But they never did it. It was a huge missed opportunity. I don't think I've even seen any people do like any like mods of it, like any bonus mode. I feel like that could be easily done. I don't know how to code it for the hell of me, but I would love to see it happen. I want to see someone turn that into like a time attack mode. Nice and easy. So yeah, there's definitely 7 here. Alright, so we fall down is infinite. So if we go this way, that stops the loop. I wanna go. Whoa! Na na ooh. Na na ooh. Na na ooh. Yeah, yeah. Na na ooh. Na na ooh. Na na ooh. Yeah. It's just absolutely smooth. There are some people that'll always defend saying like, if you're not playing the Japanese, then you're playing it wrong, or you're absolutely in the wrong. But how can you hate this? Alright, I want to keep my rings, so I don't want to do anything reckless here. Can I? There we go. Don't mind if I do. And ride it all the way to ooh, all the way to the end. There's the capsule. You can tell though that you couldn't hit it now because you can only actually hit it in the past. In the present and the future, it's already ruined, but it did its job. It made all the enemies. So it only makes sense that you wouldn't be able to affect it in the present or future. Which kind of adds to the debacle of the time travel mechanic, but it's what it is. I almost think this game would have been better in some sort where you could sort of fast travel between places instead of having to always get acceleration in place. Like being able to just hit one of the buttons to go past future, and then maybe like a cooldown or something, like I guess maybe like a 3-second timeout or something. Or maybe you need rings or something to power the time travel mechanic. But I think trying to go for speed, especially in the way that the stages were designed, didn't always work incredibly well. I don't know, that's one person's opinion. Alright, nice and easy. Get it! No, 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 no. Let me at him, let me at him. Ah! Get over here. Got it. Jump. Too soon. Ooh, 20 and 15. Okay, so now there should be, yep, the one with the red streaks. That will give me extra time if I hit it. Just enough that we need. Perfect. We got one more to go. That's how it's done. Bling. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we need 2 more to go. Not too bad at all. Ka-ching! No coins? No coins. Alright, here we go. Destroyed ruins. There he is. They really changed his design in CD where I don't know, you definitely see like the streak of baldness more, but it's more so he looks a little older than cartoony. Definitely way more like, I don't know how to describe it. So this section can speed up if you're quick enough, just like that. Otherwise, you have to go through more of the labyrinth, and no one wants time for that. So let's just go on to the stage fights, where the objective, of course, is to, well, hit him. So he's got the bubbles that we need to breathe, and we have to get one hit out of him. But as he does this little dive there, he tries to shoot us with these energy beams. Not like the ones that we saw from the final boss in Sonic 1, but nice and easy. A simple hit's all it took. And strike. Alright, so for the next world, if we had the Japanese version, it would be this awesome piano medley. Really great piano, by the way, for that song. But here, we got some hard rock. Quite literally, the rock mines. I'll stop. No, I always like this one because it's got that rock feel to it. It's different, very different compared to the Japanese version. Don't go too fast because I don't want to go to the pass. No, I don't want to go to the past! Alright, I believe... Yep. We'll take out the roboticizer. That will be one less pain. So you're probably thinking, why is the music very different compared to what we were just listening to? And more importantly, why does it sound like what I just said earlier with the piano? Well, here's the thing about the soundtracks. Not everything was done on the CD, because part of the soundtrack was still done natively on the Sega Genesis hardware. And it was something that they didn't want to change for some reason when it came to releasing this here in the West. So, a remnant, you could say, of the original Sonic CD is the past soundtrack, as it was entirely done in the Sega Genesis chip. And rather than making new tracks, they kept it as it was. So out of the entire American soundtrack, the only things that don't belong are the past themes, because those really belong to the original Japanese versions. So in some ways, our soundtrack kind of lacked over here in that we never did get an official past theme for any of these worlds. And I would love to know what it would have sounded like in the first place. But only the Japanese got the past versions. I wonder if they'll ever, one day, like there's like demo tapes or something, come to be. But it seemed like from the very beginning, they weren't planning on changing that aspect of the soundtrack. It sounded like it was only the CD versions, which are still a majority of the soundtrack. But you can tell that it just sticks out that it doesn't belong. Nice and easy. Come on, give me the UFO. There we go. Alright, hone in on it. Alright, go for the middle. The middle is very generous when it comes to the amount of time it gives. So as long as you hit that, you should be fine. Alright, go back for the middle. Got it. Alright, perfect. Got a little more speed. Too much speed! Nope. Ah. Alright, again, this is the one thing I'll give it to Origins for, being able to continue. That's a great quality of life change. Otherwise, I know for some versions of the game where if you reset it and then go back to it, it'll let you continue right where you left off. I think that's how the 2011 one worked. If not, I know for certain it was definitely the Sonic Gems collection. All it would cost was 1 life. Okay, now we're doing better. But that UFO's definitely on the fast side. Jump! No! Get it! Okay. Time. Ah! Okay. Time just right. No, too soon! No! Too high. Oh! Alright, get some extra time. Got it! There we go. I'll take that. One shiny purple gem. So yeah, definitely 7. So we got one more we need, and then we can just focus on cheesing through the game, which we've been playing for quite a while. You know, at the speed we go, I think we'll at least be able to finish Sonic CD for tonight. I don't plan on finishing the rest of the games in stream. I'm gonna play it in my free time. I mean, if there's interest, sure, but I mean, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm sure everyone's seen people play this again and again. And there's really not a whole lot I could really say about these that hasn't already been said. If there was, then I'd definitely do an LP of it. Alright, give me some rings. If we do get the last emerald here, though, unfortunately we're not going to be able to hear one of my favorite versions of the Bad Future theme, and that's for Wacky Workbench. I love the Bad Future theme that they did for that one. In some ways, maybe more so than the actual level theme. Careful. Some rings. Oh! Come on, snap out of it! Nice and easy. $57. We got this. Here we go. Let's go for the last time stone. Alright, so if I'm remembering this last one, this definitely has one of the more trippier effects of all the special stages. And that the entire background is wrong. Okay, I mistook it then. I know there's ones like a huge like rainbow vortex. And actually one of the bonus stages too, they actually have like Eggman's giant face in like the forming backgrounds. That's a creepy one. And the strangest one about that was that it follows you every direction you look. I don't know if they did that for fun or if it was just like a tech demo, but the fact that they had Eggman follow you, his face, ugh. Alright, we got 3 more UFOs. Oh man, that's not even talking about like the illustrations that you can unlock in this game. There was one where, I'm sure a lot of people know about it on the internet, but if you type in a certain code, it would say, fun is infinite, but it would be marked by someone named Satan. Now, Satan, of course, being a nickname, not the Satan, but still, it's kind of creepy to have seen something like that and not know any better. And then it's just the creepy look, got 'em all, that you see Sonic have. I don't know what the term for it is, but I know it's trying to be like some sort of different mask. Man, it's creepy though. It certainly is creepy. What made it worse though was the American soundtrack using the Robotnik boss theme. Because here, the boss theme is much more sinister to what we had with the Japanese soundtrack, which I love for being as cheesy as it is. It would go work that sucker to death. Come on now, work that sucker to death. But instead, the Americans got. And when you pair that with the image, absolutely creepy. Just pure creepy. Alright, get some speed on this one. This is a boss that's nice and easy as long as you avoid what's coming from above. Really, one of the biggest nitpicks of Sonic CD is the boss fights don't really have much of a challenge. Especially compared to the original Sonic. Like, I feel like it's playing itself here. All I gotta do is run to the right and avoid the bomb. But yeah, that creepy music. Oh man. Alright, so we got all the time stones from here on out. It's always going to be a good future. And more importantly, this guarantees the good ending of the game. Again, our other option would have been to go through each stage and find the two MacGuffins that we need to get through. The roboticizer as well as the metal sonic projection. But here we go. Great bop here with Wacky Workbench. I don't know what you call this kind of genre here, but I absolutely love the music they have on display here. I don't know what, like, would you call it funk? Would you call it doo-wop? Would you maybe compare it to something from like the 60s, maybe? The point is, it's absolutely funky. And for those that say that the American soundtrack isn't as good as Japanese, are you hearing this? Both of them are great in their own right. That's all I'm gonna say. But we went to the future, and I guess the future isn't as good. Wait for it. Well, it's decent. Absolutely funky. I love the band feature theme though here for the American soundtrack because it makes much more heavy use of the guitar. Do 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 do. Hey hey Hawaii. But you don't get to hear it now that we got the good ending. It's a shame, but I mean, it's just so good of a soundtrack. The original, well, the Japanese version, made it sound like, kind of like it's, I guess, a telephone, like, much more like a steam engine, I suppose. Definitely a workbench, but more industrial. Do 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 do. So because we have the good feature now, if I wanted to, and if I were able to trigger it, there actually is a secret on this map where we can actually find a statue of a goddess. And by visiting it, not only do we get some extra rings, but it's kind of like an Easter egg. They even use this as an achievement in the 2011 version, that if you found it, it would give you some gamer points. I'm surprised that those kind of achievements actually didn't show up here in Origins. They're much more basic in comparison. Which, I mean, yeah, some achievements should be. That's just the way it is nowadays. But I always like the achievements that are more secret-based. That you had to go out of your way for something that anyone could get. But it wasn't too hard to find. Like, sure, it's an achievement, so you gotta work for it. But it wasn't anything where it's like, this is just impossible. Alright, so that's Wacky Workbench. Now we got the boss. Again, it's tame. It's very tame. Yeah! You love to see it. Alright, get through the bouncy pads. Of all the zones in the game, I feel like Wacky Workbench, just because of the bounce pads, makes it one of my least favorites in, I guess you could, I wouldn't call it the series. I mean, Labyrinth Zone's still there, of course. But it's just, those bounce pads really do feel like they get in the way of things. Alright, launch me up. Perfect. And this should be the last one. He goes up, hits the ceiling. But thankfully, we catch up to him. Just gotta watch out for the spikes. Launch me. And send him down. Looking a little stuck there, Eggman. But then somehow he gets ahead of me. And then he's faster. He's always faster than you. Even in Sonic 2. And Sonic 3. Fastest thing alive. Alright, here we go. Up next is the fan favorite zone of Sonic CD, and the one that a lot of people will know because of its portrayal in Sonic Mania. And that is Stardust Speedway. The fastest zone in the Sonic series. Crazy to think about. Take it nice and easy. I want to hear the music, so I don't want to go to the past. This one, it's much more reminiscent of an actual Starlight Zone. The music sounds much more like what you'd hear in the Starry Night. It's much more whimsical, much more, hey, look at the lights, look at the environment. Whereas the Japanese soundtrack plays much more to the brass and the horns you see at the stage, where it's, hey, get funky and hustle. Nothing goes harder, though, than the Metal Sonic boss fight we'll be hearing in just a little bit. Well, if you were playing the Japanese version, that is. What we have isn't bad, but there's just one better version of Metal Sonic boss theme, and that's Japanese. That is the Metal Sonic theme. But no, here, this is where it really does feel like the ambience of the soundtrack plays to what we knew here for America. Because it's much more environmental. It matches what you see. The starlight, the bright lights going way back into the background. It works. It especially works. I do wonder, though, what it would have been like if we had gotten the Japanese soundtrack way back when. But here we have the giant Eggman statue like it's shown in Sonic Mania. Bit incomplete, though. Look out. Blast off. Alright, get me out of here. There we go. You love to hear it. Alright, this should be the last little bit here where we time it just right, falling down low. Not the first, but the second. Go straight to the goal. Just like that. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright, here we go, boss fight time. All we need are some rings, but there are some coins up there, so I'm gonna go for that. Thank you. Sadly, the speed boots don't really help that much since we're not able to start by the time they wear off. But get the super peel out ready. Watch out for his laser blast. And boost. So this is a race between us and Metal Sonic. And by race, I mean try to avoid his attacks, but always stay one step ahead of him. As long as you're watching him, the only real threat to you is the world. Because there's always spikes laying about the stage that either you land on them, they hurt you, or they're in front of you, they slow you down. So you gotta be careful about that. As long as Metal's in front, though, he destroys what's in front of him, which can either be a benefit or a hindrance depending on your position. But the most important thing is to make sure you're staying on track of him, because if you're not, then it's very easy to later on get pulverized by Dr. Robotnik. But nice and easy, definitely helped the peel out. And look how much time we made. Nice and easy. But no further time, that would be the death of Metal Sonic canonically, until they thought to revive him. Story methods through Sonic 4, but he would show up in other games like Sonic Heroes. But save Amy, and of course we just became her knight in shining armor. We're coming to the last level, the last zone of Sonic CD, and that is Metallic Madness. Again, if you played Sonic Mania, you know this especially well, especially the Japanese soundtrack, which was best known because it actually had some rapping segments in it. You'd have a rapping bit with Sonic in the beginning, and then you had a rapping bit with Eggman in the last bits. I think this one is, I want to say Eggman, but it's not the same as it was in Sonic Mania. It is a rap still. I almost don't know what it is. But so, I believe it goes something like, yeah, man, this place again. Gotta go. You know the deal. Nope. I'm mistaking it for Sonic Mania. But then it's like, get yourself ready for a fight. This one's serious. Yo, we're out of here. I don't know. No, I'm confusing with Sonic Mania. Let's see. Evil Doctor over Red Jeans Bad Minions. No, I keep mistaking it with the one from Sonic Mania. I can't think of what it sounded like here in this original version. It definitely starts like, yeah, man, this place again. Gotta go. It's the after riff. I can't think of what it is. But no, the rap originally is from here. It's a different rap, but it was still a rap. It was like a small section of the song. And then you hear the main thing. It's like, and then after that, it breaks off into a and it's just madness. And then Team Lopes used the saxophone for that part in Sonic Mania. Love it so much. But anyways, for the American soundtrack, again, much more fitting to the environment. It definitely sounds like a mechanical wonderland of devious machinations. Careful here with these. And it still works just as great. I wouldn't say it's as iconic as the Japanese version, but I still love the way it sounds. I feel like that's the best way to describe the American soundtrack for me. I love it for what it is. It's different, but it's just there along with the Japanese. The Japanese version will always be the way to play because that's what was originally intended, but for us having grown up with the American version and knowing how it goes, and it's still good, it still fits well with the game. I feel like there's no wrong way to go about it. Alright, if I can do this just right. Try one more time. Nope. Alright, we gotta do the long way. Again, it's like a mechanical wonderland. Nice and easy. Step by step by step. Oh! Ring. Alright, big mechanic that's only shown here is this mini ray. One of my favorite reasons to pick this up again and again back on the Sonic Gems collection was just because of this mini section here where you see Sonic turn a little chibi. It's fun. I'm glad they doubled down on it in Mania, especially dedicating the whole boss fights, the second act, to this mini form and having like this gachapon machine gimmick. That was fun. And then it had throwbacks to some of the different bosses like Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. And even Amy being this explosive device. Alright, nice and easy though. Don't go to the right, rather go to the left. Then head up here, and let's hit this checkpoint. Alright, we only got a little more, but we're slowly approaching the end game here. This is the last major section here where we just gotta scale up above. If you can time it just right with, I want to say, the third platform, you can do the second. Straight to the goal. Alright, so we only have one boss left. The final boss, as a matter of fact. And that's the end of Sonic CD. Which, we managed to complete it in a single stream. Not bad. And that's even counting the other half of Sonic 1. We're not gonna play Sonic 2 though, I feel like I played enough. And I'm gonna save that for myself. Play it on the offlow. Alright. You used to be able to clip there and just like hang on to it. I think they changed it in this version. Yep, they certainly changed it. Yeah, they changed it. You used to be able to stand like right on the edge there and you'd be safe. But now I have to try to get just the sweet spot. Oh! Alright, not too bad. Bit more of a challenge. Just make sure it's not anything important. Nope. Alright, so we have a quick little gauntlet here with some Firefly enemies. Strike it. Oh. One more. Alright, here we go. The final boss. And unfortunately, it's a little underwhelming. Windmill. Yeah, that's all there is to it. The final boss of Sonic CD is just Eggman in a windmill form. And if you get just the sweet spots, you can take him out without doing any damage to yourself. Unfortunately, he's too high to reach normally, so you do need to go for that sweet spot when he's on the ground. As long as you have at least 1 or 2 rings, you'll be fine. Just make sure you time it right, dodge the attack. But overall, for being a final boss, this puts the original Sonic in like a all-glory position. Because this is the final boss of Sonic CD. It's just way disappointing. But no, one more hit and that's it. But again, he's too high to reach. We couldn't hit him there. So he's going to go to his final attack phase where he's going to use it like a pogo stick. And that's it. Eggman gets away, but it looks like we have a straggler. So let's rescue Amy. And then we get our ending outro. Once again done by Toy. If you're strong, you can fly. You can reach the other side of the rainbow. It's alright, take a chance, cause there is no circumstance that you can't handle. When you use your mind, Mr. Bad's got it good, but his ain't his neighborhood, he's taking over. The time is now, he can't hide from the power deep inside to make it happen. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom. I love it so much. But no, we get this little cutscene that plays as we finish the game. This was actually upscaled just for Sonic Origins. They used the original version in the 2011 remaster, but it was still just the original cutscene. Here, they upscaled it, made it look clean, sharp, and just, oh my god, it looks so good. That's what life is all about. In the dark, to the light. It's a supersonic fight, you gotta keep it going. So the original Japanese version had 2 different songs entirely for their opening and outro. The first was known as Sonic Warrior, or Toot Sonic Warrior, I'm not too sure about the name convention there. But then the ending was known as Cosmic Eternity. When it first came out for the remaster in 2011, they actually couldn't get the copyright for the actual lyrics of the songs. They could only use the instrumental. But here in Origins, one good thing that they did, sadly they couldn't do for Michael Jackson though, was get the copyright for it. So it's got the original opening and ending just as it was in the original release for the Sega CD. Which is actually a really big deal. But no, that's Sonic CD. Again, depending on how you play, it can either be a quick game, a short game, or a long game. Playing it the way that we're used to with regular Sonic definitely makes it a shorter experience. I don't think this one will appeal to everyone, but I don't think it's a bad game. It's just different. Very different. Oh, we got a good ending cutscene. You're too cool. And because this is Origins, we should have one extra little bit at the end. And then we'll watch the intro for Sonic 2, but then we'll stop there. Sonic! Oh, prophecy of meeting Tails. And he's off. Cool. See you next. Oh, that's nice. I like that they kept it in there. Thing is, though, that was when you unlocked Tails into 2011. So I don't know what that means. Whoa, they actually showed the other foxes. So yeah, Tails was made fun of because he had two tails, but then Sonic came and changed his world. And so he found a forever partner in the form of Tails. A bond that could never break. Cool. And then go straight into Sonic 2. But we've been playing long enough, so I think this is, we're going to call it here. So that was Sonic 1, that was the entirety of Sonic CD. I feel like it's like a pretty good amount of gameplay. The fact that we covered a whole game and then some. So, whether you're watching live or in the archives, thanks for tuning everyone. Mag, thanks for tuning into the chat as well. So, as always, I'll see you on the next stream. Have a good night, everyone.